It's Remembrance Day. This is when all of at least the Commonwealth nations, remember the sacrifices put in by those before us, as we should. And we should honor them, venerate them, remember them, of course, as per the name. How this relates to independence, something we hear very often from people, an emotional argument that comes up, whether it's on Remembrance Day or others days. How dare you? How dare you? My grandparents fought for Canada, or my parents fought for Canada, or whatnot. Look, guys, no, they didn't. They fought. Yes. They sacrificed. Yes. We should be grateful for that. Yes. But they just happened to fight under Canada. What they fought for were freedoms. They fought for rights. They fought for us to live the relatively comfortable life we're enjoying today. And they fought for democracy. It was their fighting overseas. Remember, not even within Canada, but they were fighting for that concept of freedom overseas, and protected the system that allows us to work to change this system peacefully, democratically, through a referendum. Canada, the concept won't be gone after independence. The history of what happened won't be gone after independence. We're just talking about changing the contract. We're talking about changing the deal. I envision a post-independence world in the West still having Remembrance Day every year on November 11th, still thanking those who fought and died and sacrificed before us so we can have that today, and carrying on with that. I think a lot of those veterans from World War I, World War II, even more recent ones, but still, living ones, are probably pretty appalled with the degradation of a lot of the freedoms they fought for. They fought against real fascists. They fought against real genocide. And here we are today with these kids who call everything genocide when it's not. The people who call everybody who opposes them politically a fascist when they're not. In fact, those people who do that cheapen the memory of what those before us did when they really did fight for our freedoms. And that's why Remembrance Day is so important, so we can remember what the real fight was. Not these blue-haired woke nutcases who call, again, everybody who opposes them a fascist when they don't even know what the word means, who call everything a genocide. Some of them now even jumping on board and denying the genocide of the Jews, gypsies, gay people, you name it, in World War II, because they're busy perpetuating a false narrative of genocide as to what's happening in Israel. But it's another battle happening, or another war, and wars haven't gone away. Violence hasn't gone away. It's unfortunate. So much fighting, so much death, so much suffering in generations before us. It's still, we're at each other's throats in some places in the world, killing each other. But we don't have to do that in the West. Again, we're civilized. We are fighting for our rights here. We're fighting for everything from our property rights to our right to defend ourselves. These rights that are being eroded every day, our rights to free association, our rights to free expression. But we're doing it through a peaceful means. We're doing it through organizing on the ground, and we're doing it without disrespecting at all the memory of the veterans who fought so hard for us to be able to do that today. So take part in Remembrance Day. Honor those, who put in the ultimate sacrifice. Take a moment to remember it at 11:11 as we do, or 11 o'clock on the 11th day, 11th month. And don't let those who feel that those sacrifices should mean that we have to stay under this umbrella of this current system of this country, though, no matter what, don't let them make that case. I've talked about that in prior videos. The emotional case is a real one. The people who we need to win over to the independent side, they have an emotional opposition to a lot of it. And things like this are a flashpoint for them. So dismissing their concerns, dismissing it when they spout out that, my relations or who and whatnot fought for Canada. We can't just flippantly dismiss that. That's how they feel. And that will turn how they might vote on things. But we have to work on that misconception. It takes some time. It takes some reasoning. It also takes, I think, being sure to get out there and use days like today to remind people. Again, independent supporters aren't trying to piss on the history of Canada or the Canadians before us. We're just trying to change things. We still value, appreciate, and respect what those before us did. So when we go out to those ceremonies, we can still have our Alberta flag waving in front of our house, wear our poppy to show that we're still valuing and respecting what was done and that we honor things like Remembrance Day. But one doesn't preclude the other. So I hope you took a moment today to thank those who came before us and did all that for us. And let's keep up the fight on our front the way we can to make sure that those freedoms are preserved for ourselves and our children and our grandchildren, because freedoms are always under threat. They're not under the open threat that they were when the Nazi regime was spreading through Europe. Now it's an incremental attack on our threats, but the end game in the end is still often much the same when we've lost all rights to the state. So we have to be on guard for that. So, well, another Remembrance Day. Try to remember, there's not too many living veterans of the World War II even anymore, but if you know one, take the time to thank them and show your appreciation. And let's keep up the good fight, guys. We'll get there.